Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 8. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Hit that notification bell so that you will be updated each and every time I upload a video. Now, y'all, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. Let me tell y'all something. Snooze fest until we got to like the last 5 minutes of the episode. But y'all, let's get into it. So when the episode first opens up, Shamia done wrote a country song. Girl, just go on, stick to the singing, honey, because the songwriting is not your forte. Okay, you were breaking my achy breaking heart with that damn song. So it's the next morning. Britt is checking in with that man of hers, telling him what's about to go down for the day. We see Cynthia and Angela. They're having a talk about Drew coming. Shamia is on the phone with her husband, and they're talking about Shiloh. She isn't feeling well. She's been having an ear infection. So Gerald is on daddy duty, and she's talking about how wonderful he is as a dad, and that she needs to give him a son because he's just that great. Now, I'm just going to say this, and I hope it doesn't come across as insensitive. I do love the support that she has from her husband, but to be honest, I feel like they need to have a serious conversation about having another baby. I don't think she has the emotional bandwidth to have another child. Just because he wants a son does not necessarily mean that you need to give him one. Can you truly handle the mental load of another child? So I don't know if that would be wise, but it's not my relationship. It ain't my business. I'm just saying that a real conversation needs to be had. Moving forward. Over on the other side, Cynthia and Angela are talking, and she's telling Cynthia that she's loyal to her friends. And the girls that get it. And those that don't. So Drew is on her way. Now, Drew been on her way for 40 days and 40 nights. Okay, it's taking too damn long. Drew, where are you at, girl? It's 2 stoplights and a stop sign to get on down to Nashville from the ATL. Girl, if you don't hurry up, probably somewhere singing. So Cynthia is talking about Drew, but she was like, I feel like Drew puts herself in that position, especially when it comes to Porsha, because the baby daddies, they kind of hit different. Girl, please. That lady ain't doing nothing sneaky. The issue is that Porsha is projecting. And because she will pop it for pimp, she think Drew gonna pop it for pimp. Now, don't get me wrong. She could have ran it by her. Like, hey, girl, baby's daddy had reached out to me and whatnot, and it wasn't about hot dogs. He wanted me to sing for him, okay? He's on his Berry Gordy. Now, I'm not sure why he reached out to me. I don't know if he's trying to make you mad. I don't know what's going on, but I just wanted to make you aware of that. Are you cool with that? And then go from there. But at the same damn time, child, please, moving forward. Dennis be with everybody. Okay, he be in everybody's face. He was even over there working with Fallon at one point. Let me tell you something, all y'all messy. Okay, the reality television sector, y'all get messy. Honey, I don't care what's going on. Y'all just messy. And Cynthia, you talk about nobody better not come for Leon for a goddamn thing. Girl, please, your daughter is grown. You and Leon have been apart for forever. You both said you're like sister and brother, according to you. And you have also been married twice. Nobody has to run anything by you as it pertains to Leon. Girl, gone. So then Angela said, well, the whole table was talking about Drew, and I'm just not going to let them attack her. As you shouldn't. See, the people are used to Drew not having backup. For seasons, we have seen them pick this lady apart. When Cynthia first brought her on the show, Kenya started talking about how she looked like a chia pet. Her and what's the girl's name? They were making fun of her. LaToya Forever. They were making fun of Drew, talking about her. Drew was in her first season bag, honey. She didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. The wigs wasn't wigging. The clothes wasn't clothing. And then she decided to get herself together later, but they're not used to her actually having backup. So I don't blame Angela. I'm going to be down for my friend. There was no reason for those ladies to be spreading lies and rumors about Drew. We're not going to act like that didn't happen just because they didn't show us that in this episode. Because, see, they playing a game. Any other time, they would have picked up where they left off. But this episode, they pick up with Shamia talking about, it is Porsha's birthday. We're going to get some cake. Girl, we don't give a damn. We don't give a damn. We don't give a damn, girl. We don't. Okay, well, I know I don't, honey. Some of y'all might care, but I don't give a damn. In the next scene, Drew finally arrived. Girls, by the time you show up, hey girl. So Cynthia is giving her the rundown on the day's activities. She goes in while Angela is getting glam. So Angela's like, girl, yeah, so your room is right through those doors and it's beautiful. Now, Drew already know what time it is. Baby, Drew looked at that room. She said, it's giving orphanage. Well, listen, your hair is colored red, honey, so you could play Annie, okay? It's a hard knock life for us. It's definitely giving Annie by the head. So they started talking about Porsha and Drew, and Angela wants her to talk to Porsha. Here go Drew. For what? Ma'am, because you're on a trip that the people want us to believe is Porsha's birthday trip and you're not supposed to be present, even though production wanted you to be present. So go on in there and make a scene with Porsha. Y'all getting on my nerves, okay? And Angela wants you to talk to her so they can get off her. I am so sick of hearing about this Porsha and Drew mess. I'm not playing with y'all. I am upset about constantly hearing this throughout the entire season. Y'all are like a dog with a bone. Let it go. This old contrived beef y'all done came up with. What is next? What's next, please? Next caller. Next caller. So now when Porsha saw Drew, she was cool. Okay, she hugged her neck. She embraced her. She was like, oh, hey, happy birthday. Everything was cool. I do not know how we go from this to that. And Kelly and Britt, I know y'all are sharing a bed, sharing a brain, sharing a stylist. What do y'all have on? Britt, why is your whole behind out? I have never seen anybody boot, scoot, and boogie with their butt out. I have never seen that. Y'all look crazy. I'm sorry, that is not fashion, girl. What is going on? Over in the other room, Shamia is asking Porsha, are you cool to be around Drew? So then Porsha was like, I've been talking to that thing in there. Basically, she's talking about Angela. And she been gaslighting me. Girl, what? Listen, y'all need to leave them word of the day calendars alone. Y'all learn a word and then y'all just run with it. Do you even know what the meaning of gaslighting is? How did she gaslight you? Quickly. You got nothing. Okay? Anyways, I don't have time for this. Because, girl, gaslighting? Girl, bye. Girl, bye. So they all get into the Sprinter and they're on their way to do whatever it is they gonna do. So Shamia is a little bit emotional in the back of the Sprinter and she's crying because not only is she worried about her daughter, but seasons ago, and I think this was like season 8 or 9, I'm not sure, they did a domestic violence PSA and Shamia shared her story about how, you know, the man that she was married to basically assaulted her. Well, there was this lady that didn't quite understand why she was divorcing this man. She didn't believe Shamia when she was saying that she was going through this thing. And then the lady just randomly right now while they're on the trip texted and apologized to Shamia. So it kind of took her back to that place. And as she was saying that, I was just thinking that lady must have witnessed the same thing happen with somebody else that she knows. And now she feels the need to apologize to Shamia because, oh, girl, I didn't believe you. But now that it's happened to so-and-so, now I believe you. Listen, people never believe the victim until it happens to someone else or until it happens to them. Now, I could go down a rabbit hole with that, but I'm going to leave that there. Okay. But shout out to Love and Hip Hop. But people never believe you unless it happens to someone close to them or unless it happens to them at the hands of that exact same person. And see, this is why victims keep abuse to themselves, because we already know people are not going to believe them. And I completely understand how she feels about that. And to go through it, it's lonely. Not to mention the shame and embarrassment that you feel because clearly everybody thinks you did something to make it happen. Well, what did you do? Or they would never. I don't believe that. Trust me, I have heard it all before. Shout out to Sunshine Anderson. I have heard it all. Trust me. So then Cynthia starts talking about how her mom also shared her story on that exact same season. And she said that you wouldn't even think that Shamia has gone through any of that because she's always smiling. Yeah, it's a defense mechanism and it's a way to cope. You don't want to look like what you're going through. And 9 times out of 10, you're hiding what you're going through. You suppress what you've gone through. So you just smile through it. I mean, that's how I coped. Child, look, I could write a book. Okay, it could be a Lifetime movie. Moving forward. So they get to their stops. Group number 1 did a Coyote Ugly style bartending class. And do y'all remember that Coyote Ugly movie with Tyra Banks in it? Child, That movie was something else. I think I've seen that movie like 3 or 4 times. Now, that's neither here nor there. That's just a side note. But every time I hear Coyote Ugly, I think about that movie. But anywho, group number 2 went to whiskey tasting at the bar. Kelly, Porsha, and Shamia are doing this trick where they pick up the glass with their mouths and they swallow. Baby, the way I would have been choked, I was like, I hope that's water. Because it ain't no way I could have taken that water or whatever it was in that shot glass and just took it down my throat. It's no way. That's a special talent, honey. Back with the whiskey tasters, Drew is saying, you know what? I think I'm going to get a bottle for Porsha with our picture on it. Drew, too far, baby. Not with your picture on it. And let this be the last time you give that damn olive branch. Ain't nobody about to kiss Porsha's behind. Okay? There are 6 other women in this group that you can talk to. If she don't want you to bother her, then don't bother her. Okay? Now give her the peace offering and back up. Over with Kelly, Porsha, and Shamia, they're talking about the rest of the day and they're just going to chill. Portia's hosting a cowboy dinner later that night. And so Kelly wanted to know if the ladies from last night knew Drew. And Porsha was telling her, yeah, like they were just wondering why Drew wasn't there, and they are. That's what was going on with that. But I'm a little bit confused with Angela, because if you invite your friend, wouldn't you want the atmosphere to be inviting? And I wonder why Angela would set it up for Drew before she got here, knowing that, you know, I really don't like her. Girl, relax. She was giving you a heads up so you wouldn't be blindsided. Be very for real right now. Okay. And I don't even like to pretend to play this game where I'm acting like this is real, because I feel insane. It's like I know that this is not real, but I'm pretending that it's real, and it's making me feel weird. Then Shamia pipes up with this story about how on the way to the peace brunch, Angela was saying that she felt like Drew was talking mess to Kelly about her. So they roll that beautiful bean footage. Drew didn't say nothing like that. Shamia, baby, you can come up for air. Okay, you really can. You can come up for air out of Portia's butt. You literally just lied. You really just lied. You're a housewife now, honey. You can give that friend of energy a rest. You've made it. Okay, you've made it. You can stand on your own. You can be your own person. You can come out of Portia's shadow. You don't have to make up things to sound interesting, because that was a flat out lie. Then to add insult to injury, Kelly didn't even get riled up. So that just fell flat. And I just want to tell y'all what the woman did say. Angela said that Kelly was throwing shade. Okay. And she's concerned about Drew's reaction, meaning, did my friend defend me? When this girl was throwing shade at me, what did Drew say? That's all Angela was saying. Angela didn't say nothing about Drew was talking bad about her to Kelly. What are you talking about? Now, Shamia, I'm kind of side-eyeing you on that and your need for approval. I didn't like that, because that was just a flat out lie. The way that you just sat up there and misconstrued this whole thing, it was like a bad game of telephone, and I was completely confused. Then some kind of way, Porsha has made this a conspiracy in her mind, talking about, see, that's why she handling Drew coming to this trip this way. She set Drew up, y'all. I'm telling y'all, she set Drew up. She was like, Angela provoked everybody to have a negative response to Drew. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Your little friends were spreading nasty lies about Drew, saying that she gave your baby daddy fellatio. So why are you sitting here trying to make it seem like Angela was the one that put Drew on Front Street? Truth be told, Angela sat down at the table, didn't say a word. Then your friends were like, where's Drew? Where's Drew? So what are you talking about? She was in defense of her friend. You're just trying to create this narrative, honey, and you ain't fooling me. And I see why you and Shamia are friends, honey. Birds of a feather flock together. And y'all ain't fooling me. Over with Angela's group, they were telling Drew about how much they missed her last night. Now, they're giving 2 totally different renditions of last night's events. Cynthia was like, well, Angela, girl, you took on the whole table. Well, let Porsha tell it. Angela was the one that made the mess. And you over here saying Angela took on the whole table. So somebody lying. Somebody got a little lying problem. So Angela is explaining that she thinks Porsha was hurt because Drew was coming, but at one time they were friends. So she felt like bringing her was her aiding in them, you know, healing. But that's where she messed up. So then here go Britt talking about, well, Angela, you know, you like to play the victim. thinking that you're catching all the heat. That's like you playing the victim and then, you're oblivious to it. Skirt. Britt, please. Girl, please. You literally concocted a story about the way that you were being treated by Kenya in your own damn mind. And now you are giving Angela advice on her playing victim? Baby, if that's not the pot calling the kettle, calling the pot, calling the kettle. So then she brought it back to the peace brunch. And she was like, nobody had empathy for me. Nobody had my back at all. Didn't even get a chance to speak my truth. Talking about, y'all were just acting like we were even. Ma'am, how did you get that from the brunch? They came in, they sat down, they listened to you. You were just mad that you got called out about that lie, about you losing that license. You did not expect Angela to say anything, and she said something. And Drew was like, well, that was kind of like a cause and effect. And us showing up was us showing you that we care and having your back. But we did miss our friend. But it was kind of like the way that you came into the thing, you just seemed entitled. So here goes Cynthia. She gonna pipe up talking about nobody can tell this woman anything about how she came in until y'all have a poster of y'all doing these deeds. Now, she didn't say it exactly like that, but she said a poster of them, on their knees. Then they can tell Britt how she can come into the party. First of all, 50 Cent, you were not even there. So pipe down. Girl, please. And did you also tell her about that GUN comment? Since you so empathetic and gung-ho about rallying around Britt, did you also say to Kenya, I understand, I feel why you were so upset? Did you also say that to her? Sure, this is a mess. So then Britt starts crying and saying that she, that was not the time to point fingers at her. And then Angela apologized to her for hurting her because she knows that Britt was humiliated. And she was. In the grand scheme of things, what Kenya did was wrong. And she should not have shown those pictures. And Britt is still a human being. And she was humiliated by those pictures getting out. It doesn't matter if they were on the internet or not. She did not personally pass them out to people like business cards. If they wanted to find it, they could have searched for themselves. But because it was served to them on a silver platter, that's why Kenya had to go. I'm sorry. But again, we've been down this road before. Britt should have been reprimanded first because we should begin at the beginning. 50 Cent. Moving forward. Cynthia said, we have empathy for Britt and we still love our friend. Girl, please. Kenya ain't messing with you. And I know Kenya is seething watching this clip. Now, I understand Kenya took it to hell, but I don't like how Britt is making it seem like she's 100% without fault for her actions beforehand. But you know what? I ain't got time for this, so I digress. So they get back to the house and it's time for the cowboy dinner. So everybody is waiting for the dinner to start. They're coming downstairs, dressed how they dressed, honey, going to all kinds of different events. Cynthia got on a New Year's Eve suit. Britt is dressed like Elsie, the cow. She got on a cow print. Kelly is dressed like, child, I don't even know. I don't even know what Shamia got on, child. It's just a fool. So everybody is waiting for Porsha to come down. So she comes down dressed in all black like the Omen. Very understated. Looking all furled up in the face, pouting, not really saying much. And she's in a mood because she said that she got a call that Dennis and Drew had been filming behind her back. Now, I'm going to say this. You need to be mad at him. Dennis lied to your face. And I remember you talking to Shamia and saying, yeah, well, he told me he wasn't going to film with Drew, when he literally filmed with Drew right after y'all filmed that co-parenting scene. He lied to your face. Girl, he'll do anything to stay on this camera no matter how you feel. And truth be told, the man probably secretly resents you for getting with Simon. So whatever he can do to piss you off, he gonna do it. Yeah, Dennis is likable, but at the same time, Dennis can't be trusted. So you up here mad at Drew when you should be mad at him. So they go outside to learn this little line dance or whatever. Porsha still ain't in the mood. Baby, this wasn't a line dance. It was a square dance, but they having fun. So there's that. After playing on this here dance floor, they sit down to eat. So again, Porsha is still feeling away. Okay, she's like sitting there not saying nothing. Basically, she wanted everybody to ask her what's wrong so she could pop off. Girl, just talk to Drew and have the conversation. This is ridiculous. If you ever cared about her at all, you would have the conversation. And for everybody that's saying, Well, Drew shouldn't have did. Drew has tried since episode 2 when she was called a low down dirty individual. When she was called a low down dirty individual, okay, she was still trying to have a conversation with Porsha. And Porsha said, I don't want to. So I don't want to hear anything about that. Moving forward. I feel like your anger is misdirected, P. Willie. I really do. The entire energy at the table is off now because you're in a mood. They started talking about the progress that they made over at the whiskey tasting. And Angela wants to know, how was I gaslighting you, Porsha? That's what I want to know. And Porsha does not want to answer. So Angela wants to know, why am I the only one being held accountable? Kelly was asking questions too. So she said, and Porsha didn't answer it. Porsha, can you answer the question? Porsha said, yeah, Angela can kiss my boop. Okay, she can kiss my ass. Angela said, I don't want to kiss Fix-A-Flat. No, Fix-A-Flat. Angela, baby, that was good to me. Ma'am, please, not Fix-A-Flat. Baby, that's some old school stuff right there. I remember when I was in college. This is story time. It's not really a story time. I was in college and I was going to this boy's dorm that I wasn't supposed to be at. And I was driving my car that my parents told me don't move unless I'm going to class. And I moved that car and I got a flat tire. And so the dude that he was living with was like, well, we can just go to the gas station and get some Fix-A-Flat. Now, I didn't know Fix-A-Flat was not what you should be using. So, child, they put that Fix-A-Flat there. Needless to say, they messed my tire all the way up. I had to call and confess, get me a new tire. It was so much going on, honey. But I will never forget that damn Fix-A-Flat don't work worth nothing. So when she said that, I just cackled because that made me laugh so loud. But anyway, Drew looks at Porsha. She's like, girl, are you good with me being here? Because I wasn't invited. Porsha said, you straight. Now, Drew gets up because she's like, yeah, this energy is not going to work for me. It's childish. It's immature. I'm gone. I think she did the right thing. That is my opinion. The fact that y'all want Drew, I'm talking about these ladies, to sit through this is crazy. Talking about just go ahead, eat your chicken, girl. Just stay. She said you can stay. Let me tell you something. I am not staying anywhere that I am not wanted. Why would I impose myself on your birthday when you clearly don't want me around and now you're hot and cold? When I greeted you upon entry, you were like, oh, hey, girl, and you gave me a hug. Now, you straight, instead of just telling her what you heard. Y'all act like Porsha is the only one going through things. Drew is also going through a divorce. And nobody wants to fight Basement Billy and then come over here and fight P. Willie. It just don't work like, oh, I was rhyming. Y'all heard that? Baby, not Basement Billy and P. Willie. Nobody wants to fight them at all. And nobody especially wants to fight Porsha over something that she keeps saying is okay. And then 2 seconds later, she mad again. Girl, don't nobody want Dennis but you. I would have left too. Because you can fix your attitude. And I can argue at the house. I'm not about to argue here, argue there. Everybody's going through something, not just you. So then Angela went upstairs to check on Drew. And Drew told her, girl, it's too much right now. Okay, I'm arguing with everybody. It's just too much. Cynthia went to check on Porsha. Cynthia, you're getting on my nerves. And I've always liked Cynthia. Even on her off seasons, I've always taken a liking to Cynthia, but she is really getting on my nerves. So she's telling Porsha that she knows that she's going through a lot. Porsha's like, my energy really wasn't for any of the ladies downstairs. It was for the men and, because I'm going through the divorce. And Cynthia wants to know, well, what's going on with you and Drew? I'm confused on y'all's dynamic. Like, what is it? What is it? Okay. So then Porsha basically told her, it's as simple as this. If I started a podcast with Leon, how would you feel about it? Cynthia said, I wouldn't like it. That's not cool. She said, it's as simple as that. That's what this is. Her going behind my back and doing something with my child's father. Okay, I can take that. I understand that. But sometimes, Porsha, I think you feel like you have ownership of him. And it takes me back to that season when you had your own Todd. I think it was season 9. And you presented him with that baby nup. That's what it's given. Like, just because y'all had a child together, because if he was dictating everything, he is literally doing everything that you want him to do, including being on that silly Porsha's Family Matters show with you and your new man, which I thought was crazy. And I just have to say this because I just need to hold on one second. This season is just awful. Okay. And let me break it down. Cynthia is delusional. Britt is an angry bird. Shamia still playing friend of. Porsha mad at Simon and her decision making. Kelly looking for fish that she was supposed to have at the dinner. She done went in there and told them people, what happened to the fish? Did y'all have to go catch it? I'm over it. I'm just over it. And Drew is fighting with the man that lives under the stairs. I am over it. I'm really over it. So after that, they decide to get in their swimsuits and get in the pool. This was poorly edited because nothing flowed. Nothing made sense. It was a bunch of little arguments and random people. And I don't know. It just, But anywho, they're in the swimsuits, child. Meanwhile, Angela is upstairs getting ready for bed. Now, this is where it got good. Now, they done twerked themselves to sleep. And now it's the next morning. The birds are chirping and whatnot. Dollar bills are floating in the pool. Kelly and Britt are in bed and they're talking about the night before and how Angela was recording them. So Angela is telling the producers last night around 2:30 a.m. she was talking to Charles and she hears her name. So then she heard Porsha say, yeah, and I should F her husband. Every time they go on a trip and get drunk, Porsha get caught up. It's Bolo all over again. And what makes you think that you should feel so comfortable that you make jokes about sleeping with somebody's man? Husband. Now, Angela said she kept hearing her name, so she just started recording. So then she went down there because I heard you was looking for me. Here I go. So she went on down there to see what was going on. Baby, the way Porsha skedaddled out of there. When Angela came down there in that satin night set, baby, the way Porsha hightailed it out of there with her beach towel wrapped around her waist. She's been caught. So the producer is asking Porsha if she said anything about Charles. Here go Porsha lying, talking about, I didn't say anything. Anytime Porsha has that deer caught in the headlights look, she lying. She flat out lying. Now, Kelly actually told it on her, and I was shocked that somebody actually said something. See, you got to be very careful who you go on trips with. Tanya told on you last time, and now here we have Kelly. She said she thought they were making a music video, and then Porsha said she better stop playing with me before I F her husband. Everybody don't be playing with you about their marriage, Porsha. Okay, you're going to meet the right one day. And let's see the excuse that the people come up with for this behavior. Because I know it's going to be somebody. She was just playing. She was basically saying she could take her man. That's not cute. That's why you're in this predicament that you're in now. Always worried about somebody's man. Leave people's men alone. And Shamia, to you, Angela has been supporting you. She was supporting you in the studio when your own friend thought that you were Drew on your own track. Now you downstairs, according to Britt, saying that her husband is out with women all the time. Really? So you signed up for this show to be Porsha's sidekick yet again. Porsha, you ain't never beaten them allegations. When I say never, I do mean never. And Kelly, I'm surprised at you, but I'm really not. Because you girls are lost. Y'all don't really know. You don't have your footing yet. Maybe by next season, you'll have some sense. Because this right here is crazy. So all of this has come out, right? And so it's the next morning. So we see Angela. She's sitting there with her things packed and she's ready to go. Now, Kelly tried to come in all bubbly, talking about good morning. Angela said, yeah, I'm not, good morning, but I'm not finna be fake. She was like, no, I'm not being fake. She said, yeah, I'm good. I'm just not finna be fake. I know that's right. Girl, go on with all that fake-ish. I heard everything y'all was saying. Y'all was dogging me out. Now you want to sit up here and skin and grin in my face. And see, that's a dangerous person because what if you had not heard that? She was going to skin and grin in your face like she's this little bubbly person and you were in on the mess as well. Baby, Angela said, look, I'm just over it. They done pissed me off. So Angela gets in her car service, baby, and she finna bounce. She said, yeah, all of them are puppets for Porsha. Every last one of them. I know that's right, y'all. And that was the end of the episode. Listen, I would have felt the exact same way. Don't come over here skinning and grinning in my face when you know dang on well you were downstairs hearing this woman say that she was going to F my husband. And like Angela said, if she say she going to do it, she's going to do it. History has proven that she will do it. But I just want to see the Porsha apologist try to make this make sense. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode if you just so happen to watch. It was boring, but I tried to put a little zhuzh on it. Anywho, comment down below and I'm going to comment back. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.